Hi viewers, welcome to SEKHAR'S Bio Factory for NEET. If you like this video, subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get notifications. In this video, I am going to explain the mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. So stomata is a main site for exchange of gases and transpiration, and in the structure of each stomata, these stomata it is surrounded by two God cells. So these God cells it play an important role during closing and opening of stomata, and it facilitate both transpiration and exchange of gases. During this mechanism of closing and opening in God cells, the osmotic pressure it play an important role, and this osmotic pressure it helps to maintain both turgid state and flaccid state in cell, especially in God cells. So the turgid state of God cell it helps to open the stomata, and the flaccid state of God cell it helps to close the stomata. So at the time of this opening and closing of stomata, the structure of God cell also play an important role. So when you observe the structure of this God cell, the structure of God cell, the God cell it is surrounded by cell wall and plasma membrane. So this God cell inside it consists of a large vacuole. It is a large vacuole is present. Along with this vacuole, it consists of a chloroplast. And one of the important structure associated with closing and opening of stomata, it is the specialized pump proteins present in this membrane, and these are called as H plus, K plus pump. So in the structure of this God cell, the cell wall which is present towards the pore region, it is thick and elastic in nature. Along with that, the cell wall, it consists of radially microfibrils made up of cellulose. That is the structure of God cell. So in majority of the plants, the stomata are open during daytime and closed during night time. These are called as photoactive stomata, especially during daytime. So when the sunlight is available, by utilizing this sunlight, the chloroplast present in God cell, it converts the carbon dioxide into glucose by performing photosynthesis. When the carbon dioxide utilized for photosynthesis, gradually the carbon dioxide concentration decreased in God cell and the pH value increases. The pH value increase. So now this glucose, it will be converted into starch, and this starch, it will convert into malic acid. So this malic acid, it will be break down into H plus ions and malate minus ions. The H plus ions which are released in God cell, these H plus ions can be transported to outside of the God cell into subsidiary cells. At this time, this H plus K plus pump can transport K plus ions into the God cells. Now, the movement of these H plus ions and K plus ions, it is completely based on utilizing ATP energy. It is called active transport. So, when by utilizing this ATP energy, H plus ions are transported to outside and K plus ions are transported to inside of the God cells. Along with this K plus ions, Cl minus chlorine ions also can be diffused into the God cells, and due to having of these malate minus ions, K plus ions and Cl minus ions in God cells, gradually the protoplasm, so concentration increase. Along with that, the water potential value, it become low. So due to having of this low water potential value compared to surrounding subsidiary cells, so based on this concentration gradient, the water, it will be transported from subsidiary cells to God cells. For that means from outside to inside of the God cells, that is called as end osmosis. Due to this end osmosis, the protoplasm volume increases, and this increased protoplasm, it creates some pressure on surrounding walls, and the cell, it becomes turgid cell. And this turgid cell, it creates some pressure on its surrounding walls. It is called as turgor pressure. And due to this turgor pressure, the cellulosic microfibrils present on the surface of cell wall, they oriented radially rather than longitudinally, and these microfibrils, it helps to gradually, it helps to open these stomata like this. It helps to open the stomata, and when the stomata is open, it facilitates both transpiration and exchange of gases. It is the mechanism of opening of stomata. And during night time, the sunlight is not available. In such condition, the carbon dioxide is not utilized in God cell, and due to having of more carbon dioxide concentration, the pH value, it will be decrease. And due to decreasing this pH value and due to having of more carbon dioxide concentration in these God cells, it helps to ABA functioning. So ABA is one of the hormone. It is called anti-transpirant. It inhibits transpiration process. The ABA, abscisic acid hormone, which is present in this God cell, it acts on these pump proteins, and this ABA, it inhibits the activity of the H plus and K plus ion pumping, and at this time the K plus ions are not transported to inside of the God cell, and simultaneously the Cl minus ions are also not transported, and due to absence of photosynthesis, malic acid, it never converts into H plus and malate minus ions. So gradually, due to this mechanism, the concentration of protoplasm, decrease. When concentration of protoplasm decreases, it indicates the high water potential. So water potential increases. So due to having of more water potential, the water can transport it from high water potential to low water potential. That means from inside to outside, that is from God cells to surrounding subsidiary cells. And due to transportation of water from inside to outside of the God cell, it is called as X osmosis. And due to this X osmosis, gradually it leads to form the flaccid state in God cell, and the God cell, it gets flaccid state. And when it gets a flaccid state, gradually the size of the cell decreases, and due to this flaccid state, gradually the stomata, it will be closed. In this way, the opening and closing mechanism can be observed in stomata. In majority of the plant, the transpiration is carried out by stomata, and in plants, nearly 85 to 90% of transpiration is carried out by stomata. It is called as stomatal transpiration. Along with this, some of the layers present on epidermis, it is called cuticle. So cuticle also, it contributes very little amount of transpiration. It is nearly 3 to 5% only. Along with that, the lenticles, present on the stem surface, it performs transpiration up to 1 to 2%. Even bark also perform transpiration, but it is very little bit. In this way, the transpiration and exchange of gases mechanism, it depends on opening and closing of stomata.